On this episode of the Infowars News Blitz, a video says Islam is not a religion of peace. A former congressman goes on an anti-Islam rant, and was the San Bernardino shooting a false flag? That and a lot more, so stay tuned. For the week of December the 14th, 2015, this is the first article day here. It's actually a video. It was made by Paul Joseph Watson, and the title is called Islam is Not a Religion of Peace. And the main reason why I am recording this from YouTube instead of from the brand new Infowars.com site, it's because the video is way too big, and I don't want to basically mess with it. So here is the video.
Islam is not a religion of peace. Anyone who still claims this in 2015 is either stupid or they're a liar. Every time I say that Islam is not a religion of peace, I get death threats from Muslims. How dare you say that Islam is violent? We're going to prove you wrong by violently killing you. At least 10 Muslim countries impose the death penalty for apostasy. They execute people for saying they're no longer Muslims. Polls show that the majority of Muslims support killing people for saying they're no longer Muslim. Executing people for not believing the same thing as you is violent and wrong. It's not peaceful.
Because it's the only religion that acts like the mafia, that will kill you if you say the wrong thing, draw the wrong picture, or write the wrong book.
At least 10 Muslim countries impose the death penalty for homosexuality. They execute people for their sexual preference. Polls show that the majority of Muslims are completely intolerant of homosexuality. Executing people for being gay is violent and wrong. It's not peaceful. At least 11 Muslim countries, or ruling tribes in those countries, stone women to death. They stone women to death for allegedly committing adultery. Rape victims are also stoned to death. Polls show that the majority of Muslims in these countries support stoning women to death for adultery. Stoning women to death for committing adultery or being raped is violent and wrong. It's not peaceful. Whenever Muslims carry out terror attacks, they cite the Quran as justification. The Quran contains a plethora of passages that directly encourage Muslims to kill non-Muslims. I'll leave a list in the description. Note that there isn't a Quran 2, which is only read by radicals or extremists.
There we go. Stop right there. And the video goes on to say that basically, rebuttal my, the argument that Islam is not a religion of peace. Which is he's kind of telling the truth, folks. I mean, they made people wear burqas, this and that and the other, and there's even a video clip about the video that he made. Oh, sorry about that, sorry. There's a video clip about it, so here it is.
Of course, the challenge I made in the video is rebut my argument that Islam is not a religion of peace without calling me a bigot, an Islamophobe, or a racist, because Islam is not a race, without referring to the Crusades, a military campaign where Christians fought Muslims nearly 1,000 years ago, without referring to US foreign policy, which has no effect whatsoever on countries like Saudi Arabia who make laws that lead to women being stoned and gays being beheaded. Try and rebut my argument without referring to any of those things. Try and rebut my argument without referring to passages in the Old Testament which aren't even relevant anymore because nobody's acted on them for 500 years or more. There was a Christian Reformation in the 16th century. There hasn't been a Reformation of Islam to purge it of its intolerant and violent aspects, which is why these terrorists still cite the Quran when they carry out these attacks. And of course, you can't really call yourself a, quote, moderate Muslim if you still believe in stoning women and executing gay people. So again, we need Muslims from within the faith to lead this march to reform Islam, which some of them are, to be fair, and people, ex-Muslims who have left, They're the ones on the front lines, people like Ayaan Hirsi Ali, trying to reform Islam and, of course, being shouted down at every single point by both Islamists and the left, who have made this alliance of intolerance, and they're perfectly fine with gays being beheaded, women being stoned to death, because they never criticize it and they never get to the root of it, which is Islam itself and the Quran.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Paul Joseph Watson. But anyway, onward to our next article. It's an article written by Michael Krieger from the Liberty Blitzkrieg, and the title is called Former Congressman Joe Walsh Goes on Anti-Islam Rant. Dares Loretta Lynch to prosecute him. For those who don't remember, there was a quote-unquote speech made by our Commander-in-Chief, Muslim-in-Chief, Barack H. Obama, saying that they will start taking the guns from everybody. And for those who watch it, for those who didn't, I didn't watch it, you may have something to say about this. But anyway, technically speaking, here it is, right here. It says, how about, let's begin reading from here. Before I get into this piece, it's important to know for a state how little respect I have for anyone who judges people based on anything other than their actions and individuals. I think readers of the site are entitled and intelligent enough to understand this position. Not only do I find certain generalizations to be ignored and foolish, but I'm also well aware that the status quo internally pushes such division so that the citizens can remain too busy fighting amongst themselves to unite and take on the real cancer that is the elite establishment oligarchy. And you can see here there's a whole bunch of other comments and remarks here. That goes on to say that indeed the First Amendment law is pretty much well established at this point, which makes Loretta Lynch's commentary so troublesome. Personally, I think she's trying to instill fear in the American people to the American populace so that it thinks twice before speaking. The completely and totally unacceptable behavior from the Attorney General of the United States. So former Congressman Josh Walsh went on Joe Walsh took a video and declared her to sue him. And you can see the video here. I'm not going to play it. But I do agree with him to a standpoint. There is basically free speech in this country. And censorship does what, as he said in this video. Every free speech works, censorship doesn't. And I think he kind of hit the nail on the head. Even though I don't agree with most of his stuff on here, I agree with that much. And this article as well. I mean, she's coming for our guns, people, in 2016. She's coming for our free speech. They're coming, folks. They are coming. Okay, this is the last article of the day here, and it's an article written by Kirk Nemo and Adon Salazar. The title is called San Bernardino false flag. Multiple witnesses reported three white men shooting. Dr. Superintendent, false flag for the Obama anti-gun agenda. As the event unfolded last week, early reports indicated that there were 3 people involved in the shooting. The hunt for one of the 3 suspects was taking place near San Bernardino Center, where many as 20 people were shot Wednesday, authorities said. Fox in Sacramento reported an hour after shooting shots rang out at the Inland Regional Center, a facility for people with developmental disabilities. For Fox News LA reported of the 3rd person involved in the shooting. And you can see how they were here, and Islamabad story conflicts with basic. I mean, you can probably read all this stuff here. Another eyewitness had to back up Madly's story. Sorry about that. I am basically trying to pronounce his words. John Hernandez told a local NBC affiliate he saw 3 white men in military fatigue leaving the scene. And this is a video here. You can go look at it. It also goes on to say that on Monday, Dr. Stephen told Infowars he was skeptical of the official narrative. You have a woman who is supposedly Pakistani who was sent to Saudi Arabia was less than 100 pounds, being able to wear a vest at the scene, at the same time carrying guns, and at the same time shooting and twittering absolutely impossible, said Pachinich said. He also indicated the impossible scientific and its online predicament is gun control of Obama. And basically, I agree with that as well. There's no way that girl could have carried all that crap. I mean, unless she was a super Pakistan in hell. This has false flags written all over it, folks. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and talks like a duck, it's a duck. It's a false flag. There's no other way of saying this now. And with that ends the episode. But I do have an announcement to make. I will be uploading this video much earlier than expected. And why, you may ask, people? Because basically, I've been on a no fapping hiatus for the past 6 months, and within a couple of hours, it will end. So basically, at that point in time, I will upload this video. However, I will also be uploading videos and pictures of a different kind. You see, I said in one of my videos that basically I was going to basically look at and most certainly upload videos of a certain celebrity that had their iCloud accounts hacked. I mean, the females. Basically, this one, however, is a particular case, because she was the one that came out and said basically, oh, looking at nude pictures of celebrities is a sex crime. And I think I know you can figure this out. So basically, without further ado, I'm going to tell you who it is. It is the lady from the Hunger Games. That's all I'm going to say. You know who it is. Basically, she came out and said all that crap without basically coming out and saying herself that basically she released her own photos 2 weeks at the same time, and basically went on Conan O'Brien and David Letterman 2 weeks later before he got retired, and said basically I released my photos and I was talking all about it. I mean, I'm just gonna clear it up. She's a hypocrite now. So guess what I'm gonna do? I am going to literally indulge myself in looking at her entire freaking photos, and probably watch a couple videos too. I may be hard for a couple of hours, and I hate to say it, I might just, start jerking off or whatever. But technically speaking, it has to be done. She said it was a sex crime. Look at the photo, so I'm gonna commit that sex crime. But enough about that. This is the Infowars News Blitz. I'm Info Goddamn. Live with free reading number 3. Please like, subscribe, and donate. Now, if you excuse me, I got some videos to go look at. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Some videos and some photos to go look at. Oh, there. That's better.